I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get it, no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve.
Oh, what is going on, everybody, and welcome to the Designated Spittaz. Let me tell you guys right now, a few weeks ago, Derek, I was like, man, these next couple of 30-something or so, whatever games it is, that doing podcast and all that, it's just going to be somewhat boring in a sense to say because we're not playing for nothing. But the youth movement has arrived to the New York Yankees, and immediately you can really see a difference in everybody.
Dude, the energy's so much better. I mean, if they had just listened to us and done this a month and a half ago, we might not be out of it yet.
We wouldn't be. I really don't think we would be, man. And I'm just very, very excited about where they are right now, what the potential of the future is. And again, the young guys are back in the lineup again. Austin Wells has 3 games catching in a row. Yeah. It kind of seems like they are sticking to what they said, that they're going to be up and they're going to play. And we're going to ride that out the rest of the way.
There's 2 things I'm not crazy about. Numbers 88 and 89. Why can't we give these guys some decent respect? Can we respect these guys?
Do you think it's going to stick, though?
I think I think it's going to be like Volpe, where you come into camp next year if you have a good spring training. But the problem is they're going to be playing for a month. I mean, if Dominguez hits 8 home runs this month or something like that, like how many people are going to buy 89 jerseys, right? If Austin Wells has a good one, well, maybe that's part of their plan, sell multiple jerseys, right? But
I think people are buying 89s already. I've seen a couple of them already out there.
Mario Gomez has one. And he posted with his friend. I'm not going to lie. I'm tempted to order one, but I kind of want to also, I don't want to like throw away a couple $100, like if he switches to number, 50 something next year, right?
And then you end up having like Frenchie Cordero's number for next year. Something like that.
This is huge.
That's the last thing. Yeah, exactly. That's the last thing you want. But again, just to, let's start right there. I mean, today's show really, guys, is I'm not putting no, Yankee standings on the board anymore. I'm not doing that because we're past that right now. I do not believe this team will get into the playoffs. I think that is done. But I will say this. We do got an exciting month of baseball to go over. Jason Dominguez starts on Friday. He gets called up. His first swing is a home run opposite field off of Justin Verlander, who the day before, Derek, I don't know if you saw this. I put it on Twitter. Dane Huber, one of our guys with Carlos on the prospect side, says it's a really good matchup actually for him. And I was like, yeah, that fastball like mid-waist, right, mid-high, he could probably really drive it. And the first pitch he swings at, it goes over the wall to left field. What was your reaction? Because I know you were live that day. I didn't get a chance to see your reaction, but were you had to be over the top.
I went ballistic, man. I was going crazy. I was euphoric watching the Yankee game for the first time in a while. Even when Judge hit 3 home runs at one time, I was like, all right. Even when Domingo Germán threw that perfect game, I was like, woohoo, he's still a piece of shit, but woohoo. And then but when Dominguez, who let's be honest, I have been riding Dominguez's dick for like 2 years. And when he went deep, I just lost my mind. I felt vindicated. Like I believed in it. And I felt like the Yankees did something right. It was almost like a sense of accomplishment. Agreed. Look, we took the number 1 international prospect. We gave him all of our money. He rocketed through the minor league system. And now as the youngest player that the Yankees have started in 50 years, it's a home run on his first swing.
Yep.
I mean, how can you not be romantic about baseball, right?
No, baseball is it's a special game, no doubt about it. And you see the family there, you see all that great stuff, and even yesterday's ball game, the base hit to right field, but you see the speed, right? You see the athleticism. The only concern, and again, look, it is very early. We don't know what could happen, what progression his career is going to take, but and the reason why you have been saying it, I have been saying, and a lot of us have been saying to call these guys up already, is because unlike the Yankees, for whatever reason, we recognize how old the team looked. We recognize that, geez, I mean, You got to provide something that is different. And all of these guys are above AA. So get them here. Just make the change already. See what happens. Nobody's going to be mad if one of these guys come up and struggle. It's expected. It is Major League Baseball. Guys are going to struggle. It's going to take some guys a couple of years even to really reach their potential. But we all knew this was something the Yankees had to do, and now we do have something to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few positives that we can really take away. So, obviously Dominguez has looked great, the great at bats, in addition to the hits and so forth. Same thing we saw in spring training, spitting on close pitches. Austin Wells, I want to give Austin Wells a compliment because
hell yeah,
this is, he made his debut alongside this, hyped prospect, and he was a first round draft pick. People overlook this, and he has had very professional at bats as well. He obviously hasn't crushed the ball yet, but he hasn't looked overmatched. Even the same way that when Volpe came up, he looked overmatched for a while. We're not seeing that from Austin Wells. So I think the bat will play. And the best thing you can say about a catcher behind the dish is that I haven't even noticed a difference, right? I mean, he's just come up and done the job. If you notice a bad catcher, right? You notice Gary Sanchez. A good catcher you shouldn't notice because they're not running on him and he's not dropping shit. So I think he's done the job, and I think he's going to stick.
No question. I want to give a shout out to Yankees farm Carlos and also Dane, who, I get a lot of my information on the prospect side from them, and they really nailed him perfectly. They said, no, he is a catcher. He doesn't have a great arm, and maybe that's the only reason why a team would say, we got an Augustine Ramirez coming up that might be a better overall catcher, and you will put him there, maybe you go to first base. But his value is at catcher. Let's be honest here. An offensive catcher is extremely valuable. And if it is something that, it's the arm that needs to be worked on or whatever it might be, I'm right there with you, man. The bat looks like it is going to play at this level. And one of the other things we heard a lot about when it came to this current group in the system, hell, Aaron Judge even talked about this, I believe yesterday's game, is that this current group is not something that we've ever seen before. There's a lot of good, strong youth in the Yankee system still on the way. And I get it. We've had our Eric Duncans that didn't work out and, the Killer Bees and all this bullshit.
Banuelos.
Manny Banuelos and Andrew Brackman. But these guys do, according to a lot of the baseball people out there, they look like they have guys that are really gonna truly help. Drew Thorpe, some people are calling one of the best pitching prospects in the minor leagues. Chase Hampton is a little more raw, but has filthy stuff. These guys are all close. Spencer Jones is now gonna be in AA. And it is a time for Yankee fans to be excited. And I get we got a lot to be negative about. And the offseason hasn't come yet. We don't know the changes. But I do believe as a Yankee fan, you really should be looking up. A little bit.
Yeah. If I'm the Yankees, I'm giving a first base mitt to Spencer Jones and to Austin Wells for Christmas. We don't know how much longer Anthony Rizzo is going to be able to play at a high level. My cat's getting in my face here. Look, that concussion, we talked about it before. We got to see him come back and have some good swings this year. If you go into the offseason with him having not played, he just becomes too big of a question mark.
I agree.
If you're going to go out and sign Bellinger, which I think they're going to try to do, that moves Dominguez over to left field. I don't think they're going to play Bellinger in left, which closes a door for Spencer Jones in the outfield. I think Spencer Jones then becomes your next in line to either play first base or to DH or play right field and have Judge DH as he ages. But you got to hold on to Spencer Jones. Will Warren's another guy we haven't talked about. He's having a good year, threw a good game the other day. So, there's some good prospects in the system. Now it's just a matter of, which ones do you want to keep and cultivate for your roster next year? Which ones are going to be trade chips? Because we know they're going to make some moves this winter. I got to say, I like everything that I'm seeing from these. Like, there's nobody who I sit and I look at and I say, oh, that guy's not going to hit. I think Pereira was off to the slowest start and looked the most overmatched, but last night he looked great against a good pitcher.
Did you see you saw what happened, right?
He credited Sean Casey, he said.
Yeah, and he brought his leg kick back.
Yeah.
So he stopped the Yankees when he first came up, said get rid of the leg kick, go more to a toe tap. He got rid of it. He just said, I'm going to be who I am. And he's right. Like, look, Aaron Judge has done that with the Yankees, and he did credit Sean. So I don't know if Sean Casey said, hey, maybe, are you comfortable with the leg kick? Use it. You know, use it. If you're comfortable, use it. I mean, to me, that's a good thing. That sounds like a Sean Casey type thing, is I want you to be comfortable. If that is it, let's work on other things that make you comfortable and play at the level that makes you most confident.
That's what I'm saying. So that's where having the hitting coach who's been a major league hitter in the room makes a difference. Dylan Lawson would say, stick with the toe tap. You're going to, it leads to the better launch angle if you don't, you know what I mean? Yeah. And Sean Casey is saying, hey, we want you to produce however you need to do it that you feel you're going to be most comfortable. If that means a leg kick, you know, and they eventually adapt and throw you change ups because your leg kick is too high. Well, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But for now, we want you to start hitting and get comfortable.
Yep. Yeah, no doubt about it. That's a key. And I want to go back to what you said about Bellinger. I'll ask you this. What if the Yankees said, hey, here's your first base glove?
He's
basically a Gold Glove first baseman.
Yeah, I
don't think he's won it there, but he's phenomenal at first base. I mean, he's terrific.
Well, I think you'd have to unload Rizzo, which is not going to be easy. I'm not sure what Rizzo's contract is like next year. I think he's got 1 year
at 18.
1 year at 18 million, something like that.
18, something like that. Yeah.
And then there's an option. You know, he's gonna if he has to come back and hit. Also, I don't know if the Yankees would deal him because Judge is like his best friend or whatever.
Yeah.
I think Bellinger. I mean, how easy is it to get an elite center field defender, right? You just let one go in Bader. I don't think they're going to sign him. So I think you back up the Brinks truck for Bellinger. I think you give him 8 years, $240 million, some ridiculous number that nobody else is going to.
I think Bellinger's such a good fit because now, and again, another thing that me and you have talked about a lot is balance. Yep. We have talked a lot about balance of getting back to that lineup where you got different looks. Not everybody's a right-hander. You know, now if you're looking at it, you're going, all right, well, let's think about this. Maybe Jason stays in the lineup next year. Maybe Austin Wells in the lineup next year. Now, if you really think about it with common sense, you're probably going to say they probably got the shoe-in to kind of be there.
They got the upper hand.
They got the upper hand, yeah.
At this point, it's their jobs to lose.
No doubt about it. So you look at that immediately and go, okay, you just added a switch hitter and you added a lefty.
Yep.
So that's already added to what you have. You add in Bellinger. Yep. Now you're really looking up and down that order, and you're going, the balance has returned to what the Yankees need. The way they used to win back in the day, they kind of have more of that model again.
Let me throw this at you, because this is a name you've brought up several times this year. Brendan Donovan, left-handed second baseman for the Cardinals, having a really good year. There's been a lot of talk about Gleyber Torres moving to the outfield, but I think if you sign Bellinger, and you play Dominguez out there, then you don't have a place to hit Gleyber Torres unless he's your DH, right? So in my mind, Gleyber Torres, you're going to trade him while his value is high this winter. I think you can use either some of the prospects you get back or some of your own prospects or a mix of both. You go out and you get Donovan to play second base, right? Now you've added Bellinger, Donovan, Dominguez, Wells, and you still got Rizzo. That is 5 really good left-handed options. Whole different
lineup.
Whole different
team, dynamic, everything is different.
And you're younger.
Everything is different. Much younger.
Yeah. And you're fun. Bellinger's a fun guy to watch.
With that being said, would Pereira be your third baseman?
I think, Pereira is in competition for third base right now with DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu to me is better when he's a utility guy, first base, third base. So I would probably start Pereira on opening day if he hits between now and then. Yeah. But if he doesn't have a good September or has, an okay September and a clunky spring, I wouldn't be afraid to run DJ out there as your opening day third baseman just because he's had a better second half.
I agree. And the last name that we haven't discussed much is Everson Pereira. Now, the one thing that I'm early on seeing from Everson, and again, it is very, very early, so you still got to give time guys to adjust. He is starting to make a little harder contact now. He had a couple of hits last couple of games. Hit a big double off the wall to left center field. Almost got out. He obviously has sneaky power. You can see it, that the ball will fly off his bat when he makes good contact. My only concern right now with him is the outside breaking balls. He's been chasing a lot at breaking balls, and you got to think that advanced scouting is on that because everybody's doing it. Immediately upon coming up, he's getting a lot of breaking balls outside part of the plate. In his game of what you've watched so far, what do you like about him?
So he looks hitterish to me. I mean, some
agree.
guys just have that good, firm, smooth swing. He's got quick hands. It's not a crime to not be able to hit the outside slider. A lot of guys can't hit the outside. Volpe doesn't have a clue on the outside slider. Yep. All you have to do is be able to not swing at it, right?
Yep,
That's all you have to do. Judge got better at not swinging at it. You don't have to be able to teach somebody to hit it. You just got to be able to teach them to lay off it. And with a 22-year-old and modern, I guess, like, the training, whatever, I don't know, they have like, holographic pitching machines and shit and virtual reality and all this stuff. You can train people to recognize patterns, right? Yep, that's what the human brain is great at. We're great at recognizing patterns. That's why we look at something, we look at a clown or a cloud and we see a dinosaur or a dolphin or whatever, because our brain makes patterns. We learn to recognize the spin. You see it over and over again. If you give him a virtual reality headset that has, pristine clarity, that Win Reality thing that Jason Dominguez uses, and you just program it in, I'm gonna face 900 sliders a day between now and opening day.
Just keep doing it all day.
And you're gonna mix in a slider like every fourth pitch or something like that.
Yep.
You'll learn to recognize it.
Yeah.
Different angles. I think he'll get better at it.
You brought up something that I completely agree with, that, it kind of sounds odd when you say it, but it's true. When I see Pereira, I just see a ball player. I see a hitter. I see somebody that'll hit 20-plus homers at this level. I don't know if he's going to be a 270 hitter. I don't know anything. I just know that if somebody was to say, what is the pro about this kid? I would say I think he's a good outfielder. I don't think he's a bad outfielder. He got a good arm. I think he has good range. I think he could hit for power. I think the bat is going to fly off his bat. The ball is going to fly off his bat. Other than that, I'm limited right now to tell you much more about him. But when I see what I see right now, I saw his base running yesterday. He's fast.
He runs the base as well.
They're all fast. Peraza's fast. Dominguez is fast. Dominguez has a chance. Even I know Dane and Carlos were talking, but they said 20-20 easy, but they didn't rule out 30-30.
Yeah.
In his first year. Like that's not impossible because he had 40 bases already this year.
Yeah.
And you can see how quick he accelerates. He's very, very quick. And it's going to be very, very, really, really intriguing to see how the Yankees balance this lineup. And that's another reason why I think the front office moves are so important. Yeah. I don't know if Brian Cashman is the guy to build around these guys. I don't know that, but I mean, we're going to have our questions answered pretty quickly.
I mean, if you think about all of the different outfielders we've had to use this year, I think you could have Pereira start as your fourth outfielder next year, and he's still going to play 100 games, right? Because he's going to fill in for guys. He'll still DH. I mean, Stanton's going to be on the IL at some point next year. Let's be honest. The Yankees are going to try and get rid of Stanton, but he's not going anywhere.
Yep.
So I think next year you just plug in as much youth as you can. I think the way I would line it up right now, Wells at catcher, Rizzo at first, second base would be Donovan, shortstop would be Volpe, third base would be competition between Peraza and LeMahieu, and that's to be determined. Left field, Dominguez. Center field, Bellinger. Right field, Judge. DH, Stanton. And then your your fourth outfielder is Pereira. You get Oswaldo Cabrera back. Probably re-sign IKF, and then Trevino becomes your backup catcher. Excellent defender. You're probably still not better than the Orioles, but you're in the playoffs. You got a chance.
But I'd sign up for that right now. I mean, who wouldn't sign up for that? Truly. I mean, and I'll even throw a bigger figure out there too. What if they also add a Yamamoto?
That's what I'm going to say. You got to strengthen the rotation. That you're dead on 100%. That rotation is sick. Cole, Yamamoto, Rodon, and let's say Schmidt or King.
Yep. I was going to say, too, and if I want to be greedy, the one thing I know they need to figure out, as Yankees, Kyle, thank you, man. Pete, you are the voice of my beloved New York Yankees. Thank you, Yankee Kyle. I appreciate that. But the one thing they got to figure out, Clay Holmes is not a closer. I can't. I can't deal with Clay Holmes being a closer. I can't do it. I don't know if Johnny Loizaga's that guy. I got no idea who the Yankees closer is going to be. Maybe it's one of these young kids they got coming up in the system. Maybe Luis Heel gets a chance of being a guy in the pen, fastball slider. He's pitching an A ball again. He's getting ready to come back. I don't know who it is, but I think before we get overly excited, and by all means, folks, fan how you want, get excited how you want. But I know for me, I want a closer in there, man. I don't know who it is, but it can't be Clay Holmes, in my opinion.
Well, let me throw a name at you. And this guy who's had a couple of down years recently, he's 30 years old. But he's having a really good year out there in San Diego. Josh Hader, free agent.
I've heard that a lot, yeah.
Now, you can probably get him on a decent deal because he's had some down years. But if you've watched him this year, the stuff is back.
Yeah.
Sign him to a 2-year contract with like an option for a 3rd and 4th year, and let him close at Yankee Stadium. I think he'd be fantastic.
I mean, I'd be okay with that. I'd be 100% okay with that. No doubt about it, depending on what the deal is. The last thing I just want to have is another Aroldis Chapman situation where you're paying, one guy 14, 15, 16 million a year to be a closer, and they're Chapman City again. But the problem is, I don't know if the Yankees have somebody that you could just look at right now and go, future closer. I don't know if they're going to transition a Will Warren to a pen role potentially. I don't know if they're going to do that with, like I said before, Luis Heel. Johnny Brito's a guy, not for closer, but Johnny Brito to me is a guy that really fits that 3-inning mid-rotation arm very, very good.
Yeah. Yeah, he threw well out of the pen last night, the last few times, actually.
Terrific.
Randy Vasquez, same deal. I think he's good out of the pen. Not everybody's a starter.
Correct.
Ian Hamilton, he just went on the IL today.
Yeah.
I think he's got the closer mentality, right?
Up here, definitely, no doubt about it.
I don't know if he's quite got the durability, but he's definitely got closer mentality, maybe closer stuff. I honestly, I think they're going to stick with Clay Holmes again. That would be my prediction.
Probably.
Just because there's so many areas to fix that in some areas you're going to have to take the path of least resistance, and you're going to say, all right, Clay Holmes, just give us what you can. I think that's what they're going to end up doing.
Facts. We got a super chat from Victor Epic Warrior. He says, if the Yankees don't sign Bellinger, that's going to bite them in the ass. Same situation like at 18 after seeing the Baby Bombers worked out. He might get Nimmo money or more. Beater could be a closer.
I think he's going to get more than Nimmo money.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, this is a guy that he won an MVP. He's really back to that level again. I mean, his strikeout numbers are totally down. He's gotten away from the big uppercut type swing, and he's back to his more leveled, slicing through the baseball. So I think somebody's going to give him a shit ton of money. If it's the Yankees, it would be nice. He got the connection already. He had some nice comments to say about playing in New York. So I just think he's such a good fit. Because here's another thing, Derek, too. Like you said, right? Everson Pereira potentially be a 4th outfielder. Mm-hmm. What if the Yankees bring him on and go, hey, look, to this year you're playing center field, but just so you know, when Rizzo's gone next year, we would like to transit. Is that something you'd be comfortable with? He goes, yes. Now You're open to even a better puzzle piece.
Yeah. Yeah, he's hitting .319 this year with a .365 on-base percentage. Got 22 home runs. He's got 19 stolen bases. He's 20. He just turned 28 in July.
Yeah, he's gonna get a deal.
So he's 2 years younger than Judge was. You can't tell me he's not going to get 8 to 10 years off of that season. He's gonna get a hell of a deal. He's gonna get 8 for 200 plus. His agent is Scott Boras.
Yeah, he's gonna get 8 plus definitely. I definitely think he gets a minimum 8. He'll get a minimum 8 from somebody. And the other thing, just speaking of contracts, I want to get your opinion on this. Gleyber Torres has the same year this year, next year. What type of money is he looking at?
Oh, how old is he?
That'll be 27 when he's a free agent.
I mean, defensively, he doesn't bring a ton of value defensively. So you have to look at him as an offensive first player who's kind of slow. I think he'd get 140, 7 years, 140.
Yep. Are you giving that to him if you're a Yank? If you're
not
GM?
A chance in fucking hell. Not a chance in hell. No, you got to be able to. You got to be able to turn a double play. You got to be. If you're a second baseman, you got to be able to turn a double play. I'm sorry.
Yeah, only reason I bring that up is I've had some people in the chat be like, "Oh, he's gonna get under 100 million." Are you nuts?
No.
Like, are you crazy? Somebody's gonna give that guy money, and I'm sorry, but I'm not the guy if I'm on the Yankee side to give him money. So, well, I wanna the final thing I want to discuss before we wrap up here. We already talked about what the system is producing, what the youth looks like right now. And now we're getting conflicting reports from different reporters depending on who you talk to. Bob Klappich has very much been a little more, I think, used to the Steinbrenners. He was close with George, so he had that kind of connection, that relationship. So he has a relationship also with Hal Steinbrenner. It seems on the front of what we see. He has said there is a chance that Cashman may be gone and Sabian or Minaya may get that role. And that's kind of why that's already been put into place. Originally, Brian Cash kind of said, "Oh, yeah, I hired these guys for this and that." Apparently, it was a little more than that to potentially see the organization in a different way. It's talking about outside sources coming in to kind of look at the system. Aaron Boone is not safe.
Yeah.
Who are you believing more in this? Because I know Andy Martino said they're all safe. They're all coming back. Who are you kind of leaning more towards in this?
I think Hal Steinbrenner's pissed off. I do believe that. But I think he's pissed off because he's going to lose out on playoff revenue. If I had to guess,
for business, it's not good. I agree.
Yeah,
for business, it's definitely not good.
If I had to guess, I think Cashman will be back. I think Boone will be back. Just because one, Cashman's been around a long time. He's going to convince him to give him a mulligan. He's going to say, "Look, I've had you around in the playoffs year after year after year. We got this young core that's coming up."
Yep.
But this is not going to be a year like last season where they sit on their hands in the offseason. You're about to see some shit go down.
I think so too.
And as far as Boone goes, look, we have our nuanced feelings about Boone. I don't think he handles starting pitching well. I don't think he reads the game very well. I think he's more show than manager. Like he argues and puts on a show, and I just don't think he's the right guy. But I think the Yankees value somebody who gets along with the players above all else, because they want people to feel comfortable. So I think they're gonna stick with him. He seems like he's got a good rapport with Brian Cashman and all that. And Sean Casey, has done a good job, I think, as hitting coach. And if you lose Boone, you probably lose Casey. So the path of least resistance is to let him manage on the final year of his contract under that cloud of a 1-year contract.
Oh, yeah, because next year is his last year, isn't it? Isn't that Boone's last year next year?
Right. So instead of firing him, you're basically saying, you're not getting an extension, but you better go out there and win.
Or, if we don't get off to the start that we want,
right?
We'll do a mid-year at this point. But I agree with you in the mindset that if somebody was like, "Hey, gun to head, you let me know. You got to say it right now. What is your thought?" I think they both come back because I don't trust this team to make the correct move. And I truly still believe that Cashman and Boone should go. That is the right call. Redo the organization. My concern with Boone is not even about like a lot of the stuff that I get angry with him about and things like that. It is the fact that even you just said it and players say it. The friendliness shit gotta stop. That we're all best friends and this and that. That's why the jokes are they go on a bake-off after the game. Yeah. There's a little picnic in the room. And again, I don't need somebody to come in there and flip a table. I just need somebody that looks at the players and goes, "Hey, look, no matter what your contract is, no matter what your seniority is here, if you do not perform, you will not play.
Yeah.
If you do Gleyber Torres, what he's been doing the last 3 years, you'll eventually be benched. You will be benched under me. We need to play, have fun, show off on homers. I don't care if you want to showboat, do it.
Yeah.
But we gotta get back to the root of the Yankees, which is playing with pride, passion, and winning. We gotta get back to that. And I do worry with young guys coming up under Boone. I really do.
Yeah, I still think Mattingly would be my choice if I were the GM.
I'd be okay with it.
I just want somebody who's going to instill in these guys the concept of excellence, and Boone, what has he ever been excellent at?
I don't know. And it's not a knock on him. Like, people think like, oh, I don't hate Aaron Boone at all. I would love to see Pete interview him. I'd interview him like a regular person. I wouldn't attack him. I'd be very respectful. But there is certainly a lot of things you can pinpoint throughout his tenure with the Yankees and go, hey, man, what were you thinking? Like, was that, like, if I could really ask him something in private, I would want to ask him this. Has it really been you? Like, seriously, like, if I could ask you one thing, never will get out to nobody, I just want to know. Has it really been you this entire time? And if he sat there and was like, I just wanted to be the manager of the Yankees, I'd be like, okay, I get it. I don't know.
Look, I think that Boone was given a difficult task of trying to, manage a roster that was outdated, unathletic, too right-handed.
Yeah.
But they also haven't responded to him very well. So, I would be fine with letting him go. But if they bring him back, like, I just, he has to understand this is his last chance. You got 1 year on your contract. That's it. I don't care that you don't have the best team in the division. You better go out there and win the division. You want your job.
Damn right. I'm right there with you. So before we wrap up, guys, I just want to show off some of the quick new merch that we have. Let me see if I can pull this up on the screen. So that is the Martian gear, guys. We got a lot of order. I just put my order on the 22nd, Fire Cashman Day. I will be at the stadium rocking that for the damn Martian, all right?
Nice.
And then, of course, this was designed by our friend Kevin from not designed, he gave me the idea, Aguacate Power. I just said that horribly. But yes, that basically means avocado power, which is a big thing of Jason Dominguez loves the avocado, folks. So go ahead and get your gear, guys. The link is always in the chat. But with that being said, guys, we are going to go ahead and wrap today's show up. Derek, by the way, guys, get the likes up real quick. Smack the like button if you have not. Derek, anything big happening at your channel?
I was going to take some time off, but now that we got the kids in the lineup, it's all gas, no brakes from here on out. So.
Oh yeah. Yep. And I tell you what, they've given me what is the thing from that old show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Lifelines?
Lifeline, yeah.
Yeah, they've given me a lifeline, a big one by, calling these games. I would not be happy if it was Josh Donaldson still playing and all the same shit. Like, yeah. I'd be miserable. But
imagine if the lineup had Josh Donaldson and Aaron Hicks in it still. I'd fucking hang myself. I would fucking hang myself.
Bro, I really probably would sit there and be like, hey, guys, while the game's on, I'm just going to fucking play Nintendos.
Yeah.
Something else.
Let me know what happens. Yeah.
Let me know what happens. You guys tell me what happens in the chat, and we'll talk about it there. But before you guys leave, hit that like button before you go. Of course, Game Season Live is on tonight. The Yankees are going to look to sweep. We didn't even talk about that. They're going to look to sweep the Houston Astros today. And no doubt about it, Yankees, if you're listening, you guys should have listened to me and Derek, because we told you to do this months ago. Shouldn't have waited. We would have friggin' possibly had at least a fight to get into the postseason and been right there. But hey, you know what? Better late than never. And at the end of the day, we do know and we do feel. There's a different feel in the room right now than it was weeks ago, that the New York Yankees potentially have a somewhat bright future ahead of them with these young kids. We'll see what they do. All right, guys. Derek, any last words for everybody?
No, not really.
All right. Not really. Well, with that being said, guys, we are out. I will see you guys in about less than an hour. So see you then. Peace.
You can't manage this, can't break this, boy, I'm funded. Gotta keep my distance when you not 100, From the same ones say they love you, they funny, You can't match my energy, and yeah, you know it, Way too cold, yeah, man, I'm way too cold, Way too cold, yeah, man, I'm way too cold, Way too cold, yeah, man, I'm way too cold, Yes, I meant it, yeah, man, I'm way too cold,